Why does a Marine sniper walk into training carrying a bright purple rifle with a Christmas keychain hanging from the trigger guard? The question hangs in the cold January air at Quantico, Virginia, like something impossible, something that doesn't belong. But she's carrying it anyway. Corporal Evangeline Ashford, 24 years old, Montana girl, daughter and granddaughter of warriors. She's walking across the tarmac with that hard-shell rifle case gripped in both hands, and every step feels heavier than the last. The morning bites cold and clean. Trees bare, sky gray. The kind of morning that makes you feel small and sharp at the same time. Inside that case is something that will change everything, though she doesn't know it yet. Inside is a weapon the color of spring flowers and childhood dreams. Inside is a promise she made to someone who can't hear promises anymore. She walks into the equipment inspection bay. 30 recruits stand at parade rest beside their gear. 29 men, 1 woman, all of them waiting for Gunnery Sergeant Cornelius Webb to inspect their weapons, to judge whether they're worthy of becoming Marine Scout snipers. Webb is 43 years old, shaved head, face like carved granite, eyes that could freeze diesel fuel. 3 combat tour. A reputation for breaking recruits who thought they were tough. He moves down the line like a predator, and when he reaches Evie's station, he stops. "Open it, Corporal." She pops the latches. The case opens, and the entire room goes silent. Her rifle is purple. Not camouflage, not black, not tactical earth tones. Purple. Bright, unapologetic, unmistakable purple. Custom Cerakote finish that catches the fluorescent lights and throws back color like a challenge. An M40A5 sniper rifle, 308 Winchester, 25-inch barrel, 10 power unertl scope. The color of spring flowers and childhood dreams. And hanging from the trigger guard, impossible to ignore, is a small silver Christmas tree keychain. Maybe an inch tall, gleaming, delicate. For 3 full seconds, nobody says a word. Then the laughter starts. Corporal Lysander Sterling, 6'2", blonde, smug grin bursts out first. "What the hell is that?" The other recruits erupt. Laughter rolls through the bay like a wave. Men doubled over, slapping each other's shoulders, pointing. Did she bring her daughter's toy? Is that a Christmas decoration? Purple, purple. The word becomes a chant, a joke, a weapon. Evie stands there and her face is burning red. Her hands grip the edge of the table so tight her knuckles go white. She wants to scream, she wants to cry, she wants to explain, but her throat's too tight. Her eyes are burning, the words won't come. Gunnery Sergeant Webb walks closer, shaking his head in disgust. "Corporal Ashford," he says, voice cold as a January grave. "This is the United States Marine Corps Scout Sniper Program. This is serious business. We don't do cute, we don't do decorations, we don't do—" He jabs a finger at the rifle, "whatever the hell this is." He leans in close. "Get that thing repainted. Regulation colors. Black, tan, camo, I don't care. And lose the Christmas toy. Maybe we'll take you seriously." The room fills with mocking laughter again. Evie just stands there, silent, humiliated, clutching that purple rifle like it's the most precious thing in the world, because it is. But she can't say that. Can't explain why purple matters, why that tiny keychain means everything. Can't tell them about the girl who used to wear matching purple dresses with her, who believed courage came in colors nobody expected. Can't tell them about November 24th, about a convoy outside Kandahar, about a combat medic who ran into fire to save a 19-year-old Marine and never came home. But then from the doorway, a voice cuts through the noise like a blade. That's enough. Everyone freezes. Standing in the entrance is a man who looks like he was carved from oak and iron. 67 years old, but built like a man half that age. Ramrod straight, broad shoulders, hands like vices, face weathered by decades of sun and wind and violence. Master Gunnery Sergeant Garrison Blackwood, the legend himself. Every Marine in that room knows the name. Blackwood's got 127 confirmed kills. Korea, Cold War operations, places the government still won't talk about. He's trained snipers for 4 decades. Men who went on to become legends themselves. When Garrison Blackwood walks into a room, you shut your mouth and stand at attention. Webb snaps to attention, Master Gunny. Blackwood's eyes sweep the room, hard, unflinching. Then they settle on Evie's purple rifle. For a long moment he says nothing. Everyone waits for the explosion, for the old warrior to tear into this ridiculous girl with her ridiculous weapon. But Blackwood's face remains stone. "Corporal Ashford," he says quietly. A word. Outside, Evie's heart hammers. She nods, picks up her rifle case, and follows him out into the cold morning. They walk across the compound in silence. Blackwood doesn't speak until they're alone, standing beside a training shed, out of earshot from everyone else. Then he turns to her. "Why purple?" 2 words. Simple, direct, but they crack something open inside her. Evie swallows hard. Her hands shake slightly. She's never told anyone the full story, never wanted to. But something about this man, this weathered, battle-scarred warrior who looks at her without mockery or judgment, makes her want to speak. "My sister," she says quietly. "Violet, we called her Vi." Blackwood nods, waits. "She was a combat medic, Afghanistan. She loved purple, said it was the color of courage and magic." Evie's voice cracks. She was the best person I ever knew." Was. The word sits between them like a gravestone. Evie's jaw tightens. November 24th, last year. Her convoy got ambushed outside Kandahar. A Marine, 19 years old, got hit, wounded, trapped in the kill zone. She pauses, forces herself to keep going. Vi ran out to get him, under fire, dragged him 40 yards to cover. Enemy sniper put a round through her chest while she was holding his hand. The words come out flat, mechanical, like she's reading a report, because if she lets emotion in, she'll break. She died 23 days before she was supposed to come home, before Christmas. Blackwood's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in his eyes. Something that understands loss in ways words can't touch. "The last time I talked to her," Evie continues, "she was excited. She'd found this shop in Kabul. They had these 2 purple dresses, matching. One for her, one for me. We used to wear matching dresses when we were kids." A tear slides down Evie's cheek. She doesn't wipe it away. "She bought them, packed them, mailed them home. We were supposed to wear them on Christmas Day together." She looks down at the rifle case. "I got the dresses 3 weeks after her funeral. There was a letter inside mine from Vi. She wrote it the day before she died." Evie's voice drops to a whisper. She said, "Be purple, be bold, be extraordinary." She touches the rifle case gently. "So I painted my rifle purple to honor her. The Christmas keychain that was hers. She bought it for me. Was going to give it to me on Christmas morning." Evie looks up at Blackwood, eyes wet but defiant. "It's not a toy, Master Gunny. It's a promise. To live the way she wanted me to be the Marine she believed I could be." For a long moment Blackwood says nothing. The wind cuts across the compound. Somewhere in the distance a drill sergeant is shouting cadence. Then Blackwood reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small tarnished dog tag. Not his own, someone else's. "Private Jackson Mills," Blackwood says quietly. 19 years old, my spotter. Korea. February 1952. He rubs the tag between his thumb and forefinger. Jackson carried a St. Christopher medal everywhere. His grandmother gave it to him, said it would keep him safe. I thought it was childish, superstitious nonsense. Blackwood's jaw tightens. I shamed him into leaving it behind. Told him it wasn't professional, told him Marines don't need lucky charms. He looks directly at Evie. "Chinese sniper put a bullet through his throat 3 hours later. He died in my arms, 19 years old." The silence stretches, heavy, permanent. "I've carried his dog tag every day since," Blackwood says. 72 years. It reminds me what I took from him, and what I owe him." He steps closer to Evie. "I won't make that mistake with you, Corporal. You keep your rifle purple, you keep that keychain. You honor your sister the way you need to." Evie's breath catches. "Master Gunny, Webb's not wrong about one thing," Blackwood interrupts. "This program will try to break you. They'll mock you, harass you, push you harder than the men because you're a woman. And that purple rifle makes you a target." He meets her eyes. "But if you're half as tough as your sister, you'll make it. And I'll make sure of it." Something shifts in that moment, something permanent. Evie stands a little straighter, her hands stop shaking. "Yes, Master Gunny." Blackwood nods once. "Good, now get back in there, show them what purple really means." She does. And over the next 9 months, Quantico becomes a crucible. The program is brutal by design. Stalking exercises where you crawl through mud for hours. Shooting drills in rain, wind, extreme heat. Fieldcraft tests that push you past exhaustion into something darker. And through it all, Evie carries that purple rifle. Through every drill, every evaluation, every moment of doubt. The harassment doesn't stop. Sterling and his crew make sure of that. They call her Purple Princess. Leave toy tiaras on her bunk, make jokes about playing dress-up, but Evie doesn't break, doesn't respond, doesn't give them the satisfaction. She just shoots and shoots and shoots until the purple rifle becomes something else. Not a joke, a statement. At the 12-week mark, they run the final shooting qualification. 1,000 yards, 5 rounds, prone position. Wind at 15 miles per hour, gusting. Temperature dropping. Light fatting. Out of 30 recruits, only 15 are still in the program. Evie is one of them. Sterling shoots first. 3 hits, 2 misses. Solid, but not spectacular. Other shooters go. Some hit 4 out of 5, some hit 3, some miss completely and wash out on the spot. Then it's Evie's turn. She settles behind the purple rifle, checks wind, checks temperature, checks target, the familiar mathematics of death, the sacred geometry of the sniper. She breathes, slow, steady, finds her rhythm. First shot, hit. Second shot, hit. Third shot, hit. Fourth shot, hit. Fifth shot, hit. 5 for 5, perfect score. The range goes quiet. Webb checks the target twice. Then he walks back to the firing line, looks at Evie, and for the first time in 9 months, something like respect crosses his face. Outstanding, Corporal. That night in the barracks, Sterling approaches her. His usual smirk is gone. Look, Ashford, I've been an ass. I'm sorry about the jokes, about everything. Evie looks at him, doesn't speak. That rifle, Sterling continues. It's not a joke. I get that now. You shoot better than anyone here. You earned it. She nods once, apology accepted, but Sterling doesn't leave. He stands there, awkward, uncomfortable. My brother died in Helmand Province, he says quietly, IED. I gave him so much crap for carrying this stupid stuffed dog his girlfriend gave him. Told him to leave it behind, be professional. He looks at the purple rifle. He carried it anyway. And when he died, they sent it home with his effects. Now I wish I'd never said a damn word. Evie sees him differently then. Sees the pain underneath the arrogance. Sees that everyone carries ghosts. Some people just hide them better. Your brother sounds like he knew what mattered, she says. Sterling nods. Yeah, he did. He extends his hand. Friends. Evie shakes it. Friends. Graduation day arrives. October 2019. Out of 30 recruits who started, only 12 finish. Evie ranks 3rd overall, top female graduate in the program's history. Blackwood pins her sniper badge personally. His hand is steady. His eyes are proud. Your sister would be proud, Corporal. Evie's throat tightens. Thank you, Master Gunny, for everything. I didn't do anything, Ashford. That was all you. He steps back, salutes. Semper Fidelis, Corporal. Semper Fi, Master Gunny. 2 weeks later, Evie ships out to Iraq. Fob Phoenix. Al Anbar Province. The real war. The war where purple rifles and Christmas keychains meet dust and blood and death. Where promises to the dead get tested in ways no training can prepare you for, where she'll discover whether courage really does come in unexpected colors, or whether the men who laughed at her were right all along. What does it feel like to carry a purple rifle into a real war zone? Evie finds out the moment she steps off the Chinook at Fob Phoenix. October 2019. Iraq. Al Anbar Province. The heat hits her like a physical thing. Dry, brutal, unforgiving. The kind of heat that makes you forget what cold feels like, what home feels like, what normal feels like. She's wearing full combat gear, rifle case in hand, walking across the tarmac toward a cluster of hardened Marines who have been fighting in this desert for months. They've seen everything, done everything, lost friends, buried brothers, and now here comes the new sniper, the one they've heard about, the one with the purple rifle. The stares start immediately. First curious, then skeptical, then openly hostile. Staff Sergeant Marcus Hayes, 32 years old, 3 combat deployments, face like weathered leather, meets her at the operations tent. Corporal Ashford, welcome to Phoenix. He doesn't sound welcoming. Thank you, Staff Sergeant. He looks at her rifle case. That really purple, yes, Staff Sergeant. He shakes his head. Gonna be a problem. With respect, Staff Sergeant, it shoots straight. That's all that matters. We'll see about that. He turns away. Briefing at 1800. Get settled, don't be late. The barracks are exactly what she expected. Cramped, hot, smelling of sweat and dust and diesel fuel. Her bunk is in a corner away from everyone else. Deliberate isolation. Fine, she's used to it. She unpacks her gear, sets up her space, and then carefully she opens the rifle case. The purple gleams even in the dim tent light. She touches the Christmas keychain, thinks about Vi, about matching purple dresses, about promises made to the dead. Gonna need you to be extraordinary here, Vi. Gonna need you watching from the moon, because this place feels like it could swallow me whole. That evening at the briefing, she meets the team. Lieutenant Daniel Crane, 28, West Point graduate leading this platoon. Sergeant First Class Miguel Torres, 35, quiet, lethal, seen too much. Corporal Lysander Sterling. Wait, Sterling, he grins when he sees her. Surprise, Ashford, requested transfer. Figured if you're making history, I want in on it. Despite everything, she almost smiles. Glad you're here, Sterling. The briefing is tactical, simple, brutal. The town of Alkane needs to be cleared. Intel says insurgents are using it as a staging ground for attacks on coalition forces. The platoon rolls out at 0600 tomorrow. Evie's assigned to Overwatch. Elevated position, 800 yards out, covering the entry team's advance. Her first real mission. Her first time putting crosshairs on a human being who might shoot back. That night she can't sleep. Lies on her bunk staring at the ceiling, thinking about what it means to take a life. Wondering if Vi felt this way before her first patrol. Wondering if courage is something you have or something you fake until it becomes real. Around 0300, Sterling appears beside her bunk. Can't sleep either. No. He sits on the floor, back against the wall. You ready for tomorrow? I don't know, honest answer, that's good. Anyone who says they're ready is lying. He's quiet for a moment. That purple rifle. You think it'll hold up out here. It's the same rifle everyone else uses, Sterling, just different paint. I know, but it means something. That makes it different. She looks at him. You worried I'll freeze? Little bit. She sits up. I won't. Sterling nods. Good, because I'm gonna be out there with Crane's element, and I'd like to know someone's watching my back. Someone who shoots 5 for 5. Evie meets his eyes. I got you, Sterling. He stands, heads back to his bunk. Then he pauses. Ashford. Yeah, your sister. She'd be proud. After he's gone, Evie touches the Christmas keychain one more time. Then she closes her eyes and finally sleeps. 0600 comes fast and hard. The convoy rolls out. Humvees and MRAPs kicking up dust, moving through the gray dawn toward Alkane. Evie rides in the rear vehicle, purple rifle across her lap, mind sharp and clear and terrified. They reach the Overwatch position at 0730. She dismounts, moves to her hide. A partially collapsed building, 3rd floor, good sight lines, 800 yards to the target building. She sets up her position. Rifle on bipod. Scope dialed in. Range card prepared, radio check complete, and then she waits. Waiting is the hardest part. The part where your mind goes places you don't want it to go. Where you think about all the ways this could go wrong. Where you remember that somewhere in that town there might be someone with a rifle just like yours waiting to kill the people you're supposed to protect. Ashford, this is Crane. We're moving in. Copy that. I have eyes on. She watches through her scope as the entry team approaches the target building. 4 Marines, Crane leading, Sterling second, Torres third. New kid named Morrison bringing up rear. They stack up beside the door. Breach in 3, 2, 1. The door explodes inward. They flow inside. Smooth, professional, exactly like training. For 30 seconds everything's quiet. Then the radio erupts. Contact, contact, heavy fire, 2nd floor. Evie's scope snaps to the building. She can hear gunfire. See muzzle flashes through windows. Her heart is pounding. Her finger finds the trigger. Come on, show yourself. Show me where you are. There. 2nd floor window, left side. Insurgent with an AK leaning out, firing down at something she can't see. But Crane's team is down there. Sterling's down there. The math happens instantly in her head. 800 yards. Slight wind left to right. Target partially concealed. Moving, high-value shot. Don't miss. She breathes, slow, steady, finds her rhythm. The world narrows to crosshairs and target, everything else falls away. Vi's voice whispers in her mind, be extraordinary, Evie. She takes the shot, the rifle bucks. The purple Cerakote catches the morning sun. And 800 yards away the insurgent drops, clean hit, Center mass, he's gone, Crane's voice on radio sharp with adrenaline. Good shot, Ashford, stay on glass, she does, sweeps the building, looking for more targets. Another window. Another fighter. This one with an RPG lining up a shot at the Humvees below. No time to think, just shoot. She fires. The RPG gunner falls. The weapon clatters unfired to the ground. The firefight continues for another 4 minutes. Evie takes 3 more shots, 3 more hits. By the time the building goes quiet, she's put 5 insurgents down, 5 lives ended. 5 human beings who woke up this morning and now won't see tomorrow. The entry team secures the building. All Marines accounted for. No casualties. Mission success. They extract, load up, head back to Fob Phoenix. During the ride back, nobody speaks. Just the rumble of engines, and the ringing in everyone's ears and the weight of what just happened. Back at base, Crane finds her in the armory. She's cleaning the purple rifle, hands moving on autopilot, mind somewhere else entirely. That was exceptional shooting, Corporal. She doesn't look up, just keep cleaning. 5 shots, 5 hits, under fire, first combat mission. He pauses. You saved lives today, Ashford. Sterling tours Morris and me. You brought us home. Now she looks at him. Her eyes are wet, but she's not crying. Doesn't feel like saving, feels like something else. Crane crouches down beside her. First kills are always the hardest. Won't be the last. Won't get easier. But you did the right thing. Those men you put down, they were trying to kill your brothers. You stopped them. That's the job. Nods, doesn't trust herself to speak. You did good, Ashford, real good. After he leaves, Evie sits alone with her rifle, thinks about the 5 men she killed today, wonders if they had sisters, wonders if anyone will paint a rifle for them, wonders if this is what Vi felt like, carrying the weight of life and death in a war zone far from home. She touches the Christmas keychain. I hope you're proud, Vi. I hope this is what you meant. That night she writes a letter home. Doesn't send it, just writes it. Needs to put the words somewhere outside her own head. Mom, Dad, I killed 5 people today. They were trying to kill my team. I don't regret it, but I can't stop thinking about it either. Is this what Dad felt like in Desert Storm? Is this what Vi felt like every day in Afghanistan? The purple rifle worked exactly like it's supposed to, but I keep thinking about Sergeant Webb, about how he said we don't do cute, we don't do decorations. Well, those decorations just saved 4 lives. That Christmas keychain Vi gave me was watching over Sterling today, over all of us. So maybe cute isn't the point. Maybe remembering why we're here is the point. Maybe carrying the people we love into the darkness with us is the point. I miss you. I miss her. I miss home. But I'm okay. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm being purple. Love, Evie. She folds the letter, tucks it in her pack, never sends it. Some things you write just to survive. Over the next 3 weeks, Evie runs 17 more missions. Not all of them require shots. Most are overwatch positions where nothing happens, where she just watches through the scope for hours, baking in the sun, waiting for threats that never materialize. But 4 more times she takes the shot. 4 more times purple rifle delivers. 4 more times someone dies so someone else can live. And slowly, grudgingly, the unit stops seeing the rifle as a joke. They start seeing it as something else. A talisman, a legend, Purple Ashford they start calling her. The sniper with the magic rifle, the girl who never misses. Sterling becomes her closest friend. They eat together, work out together, talk late into the night about home and fear and what comes after this. He tells her about his brother, about the stuffed dog, about the guilt he carries. She tells him about Vi, about the purple dresses, about the promise to be extraordinary. They understand each other in ways that don't require explanation. 2 people carrying ghosts through a war zone. 2 people trying to honor the dead by staying alive. And slowly, very slowly, Evie starts to feel like maybe she belongs here. Maybe the purple rifle isn't a liability. Maybe it's exactly what she needed all along. A reminder that courage doesn't look like everyone expects. That strength comes in colors nobody predicts. That sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is carry your heart into battle and refuse to hide it. But she doesn't know yet what's coming. Doesn't know that in 3 weeks she'll face an impossible shot that will define everything. Doesn't know that the purple rifle is about to become legend. All she knows right now is that she's still here, still fighting, still honoring Vi with every breath, every shot, every moment of this brutal, beautiful, terrible war. How do you make an impossible shot when everything you love is watching? Evie is about to find out. November 23rd, 2019. Exactly 1 year to the day since Vi died in that Kandahar kill zone. Evie woke up thinking about it, thinking about the letter Vi wrote the day before, about matching purple dresses, about promises that feel heavier on some days than others. Today is one of those days. The kind where the dead feel closer than the living, where memory becomes weight, where grief sits in your chest like something you can't breathe around. But there's no time for grief today. There's a mission. The intelligence came in overnight, high-value target. A bomb maker named Khalid al-Saadi, responsible for IEDs that have killed 17 coalition personnel in the last 4 months. Intel says he's holed up in a compound outside Al-Hammer, small town 40 clicks west of Phoenix. The window is small, 24 hours, maybe less, before he moves again. The briefing is tense. Crane's platoon gets the assignment: capture or kill. Evie gets Overwatch again, but this time the setup is different. The terrain is different. The shot, if it comes to that, will be different. Crane spreads the map on the table. Target compound here, our approach vector here. Problem is, there's only one good Overwatch position, this ridge. He taps the map, 1,200 yards from target, uphill angle approximately 43 degrees, heavy wind exposure. The room goes quiet, 1,200 yards is extreme range. 1,200 yards uphill in wind is nearly impossible. Torres speaks up. That's a hell of a shot, LT, I know, but it's the only angle we've got. Everything else is flat desert, no cover. We need someone on that ridge. Crane looks at Evie. Ashford, you're our best shooter. Can you make it? Every eye in the room turns to her. She thinks about Quantico, about Blackwood's voice, about 5-for-5 qualification scores, about 17 missions and 0 misses, about a purple rifle that everyone said was a joke until it became something else. Can she make a 1,200-yard uphill shot in combat conditions? Honestly, she doesn't know. Nobody knows. That's not a shot you practice. That's a shot you pray about. But Sterling is going into that compound. Crane is going. Torres is going. Morrison is going. Her brothers are going into danger, and if the shot presents itself, she has to take it. Has to be ready. Has to be purple. Yes, sir, she says. I can make it. Crane nods. Good. We roll at 0400. Dismissed. That night, Evie can't sleep again. Lies on her bunk, purple rifle beside her, running the math in her head. 1,200 yards, 43-degree angle. Wind maybe 15 to 20 miles per hour. Target size maybe 14 inches if she's lucky. Margin of error essentially 0. Miss left, miss right, miss high, miss low, and someone dies. Maybe Sterling, maybe all of them. No pressure, Vi. No pressure at all. She touches the Christmas keychain. If you're watching from the moon tonight, I could really use some magic. Really, really could. 0400 comes too fast. The convoy loads up. Evie rides in silence, purple rifle across her lap, mind already at the ridge, already lining up a shot she hasn't seen yet. They reach the drop-off point at 0515. 3 clicks from target. Evie dismounts, gear up, 70 pounds of equipment, rifle, ammunition, spotting scope, radio, water. The ridge is 2 clicks north. She has to move fast, get into position before dawn. Sterling catches her before she moves out. Hey. She looks at him. Hey yourself. He grins, but it doesn't reach his eyes. 1,200 yards, huh? Piece of cake. He's scared, she can see it. So is she. I got you, Sterling. I know you do, purple. That's why I'm still alive. She moves out. 2 clicks through darkness, up rocky terrain, moving as fast as she can without making noise. By 0630, she's on the ridge. She finds a position between 2 large rocks, natural cover, good sight line to the compound. She sets up, rifle on bipod, spotting scope positioned, range card calculated, radio check complete, and then she waits. The sun rises slowly. Desert sunrise, beautiful and harsh. Light bleeding across the sand, turning everything gold and then white and then brutal. Through her spotting scope, she can see the compound, 1,200 yards away. Mud brick walls, flat roof, 2 guards visible, no sign of al-Saadi yet. Crane's voice on radio. Ashford, we're in position, standing by, copy that. I have eyes on target, Overwatch set, they wait. 1 hour, 2 hours, the sun climbs, temperature rises. Evie is baking in her hide, sweat running down her face, body cramping from staying still. But she doesn't move, doesn't adjust, just watches through the scope, waiting. At 09:15, movement at the compound, the guards shift. A door opens. 3 men exit, 2 bodyguards and 1 in the center. Civilian clothes, beard. Matches the photo, it's him, it's Al-Sadi. Crane sees him too. Positive ID on target, we're moving in. The entry team advances. Evie watches them through her scope. 4 Marines moving through open ground toward the compound, exposed, vulnerable. If this goes wrong, if Al-Sadi's people see them coming, it'll be a bloodbath. Come on, she whispers. Come on, just stay inside and this will be easy. But Al-Sadi doesn't stay inside. He walks out into the courtyard, stands there talking on a cell phone. Back to Crane's advancing team. Perfect target. Except he's 1,200 yards away, uphill, wind gusting, and Evie has maybe a 14-inch window to put a bullet through. If she misses, he runs. If she wounds him, his guards kill him rather than let him be captured. If she does nothing, Crane's team has to go in hard and someone dies. Crane's voice tight. Ashford, you have the shot. She lines up. Does the math. 1,200 yards, uphill, 43 degrees. Wind left to right, gusting to 20. Target size 14 inches, maybe less. Margin of error 0. Every voice in her head is screaming, you can't make this shot. Nobody can make this shot. This is beyond training, beyond qualification scores, beyond anything. This is the kind of shot people talk about for decades. The kind that becomes legend or becomes failure. Nothing in between. I have the shot, she says, but her voice shakes. Crane hears it. Ashford, if you're not confident, she thinks about Vi, about running into fire to save someone, about courage that doesn't wait for permission, about being purple, being bold, being extraordinary. She thinks about Sterling down there, exposed, trusting her, about Blackwood's voice, about Jackson Mills and a St. Christopher medal, about dog tags carried for 72 years. About promises made to the dead that you keep by protecting the living. I have the shot, she says again. Steady this time. Take it, Crane says. She settles behind the purple rifle, breathes slow, deep, finds her rhythm. The world narrows, crosshairs on target, Al-Sadi's back, 14 inches, 1,200 yards away. She adjusts for wind, adjusts for angle, adjusts for temperature. The math is perfect, but math doesn't pull triggers, people do. And people are scared and fallible and human. She thinks about the Christmas keychain hanging from the trigger guard. About Vi's hands holding a 19-year-old Marine while dying. About strength that looks like weakness until the moment it's needed most. To the moon, Vi. To the moon and back. She takes the shot. The rifle bucks. The purple Cerakote flashes in the sun. And 1,200 yards away uphill through gusting wind with a 14-inch target at an impossible angle, Corporal Evangeline Ashford makes the shot. Al-Sadi drops, clean hit, center mass. He's dead before he hits the ground. The courtyard erupts, guards scattering. Crane's team rushes in. Secure the compound in 90 seconds. No casualties. Mission complete. High-value target eliminated. And on a ridge 1,200 yards away, Evie collapses behind her rifle, shaking, crying, unable to believe what just happened, unable to process that she just made a shot that shouldn't be possible. Crane's voice comes through her headset, breathless with adrenaline. Ashford, what the hell was that? That was, she can barely speak. That was for my sister, sir. Silence on the line. Then Crane again, softer. That was the best shot I've ever seen. Copy that, sir. Can I stand down now? Affirm. Get back to rally point. We're extracting. She breaks down her position, packs her gear, starts the 2-click hike back. Her legs are shaking. Her hands are shaking. Everything is shaking. She just made an impossible shot. She just saved her team. She just proved that purple rifles and Christmas keychains aren't jokes. Their power, their memory, their love carried into battle. When she reaches the rally point, Sterling is waiting. He doesn't say anything, just pulls her into a hug, holds her while she cries. Thank you, he whispers. Thank you for keeping me alive. I told you I had you. Best damn shot I've ever seen, purple. Best damn shot anyone's ever seen. The convoy rides back to Fob Phoenix. Word spreads fast. By the time they arrive, the entire base knows about the 1,200-yard shot, knows about the impossible angle, knows about the purple rifle that just became legend. That night, Lieutenant Crane puts her in for a commendation. Staff Sergeant Hayes, who was skeptical from day one, shakes her hand. Outstanding work, Corporal, truly exceptional. But the moment that matters most comes 3 days later. Evie is alone in the communications tent, using the satellite phone to call home. She gets her father first. "Dad, it's me. Evie. Honey, you okay?" "Yeah, Dad, I'm okay. I needed to hear your voice." "What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong. I did something today. Something Vi would be proud of. Tell me." So she tells him about the shot. About 1,200 yards and 43 degrees and impossible odds. About the purple rifle proving everyone wrong. About honoring Vi in a way that matters. Her father is quiet for a long time. Then his voice comes through, thick with emotion. "She'd be so proud, honey. So damn proud. I wish I could tell her," Evie whispers. "You just did, baby. You just did." After the call, she sits alone with her rifle, touches the Christmas keychain, and for the first time in a year she feels something close to peace. Not closure, peace. There's a difference. Closure means the grief is over. Peace means you've learned to carry it. Learn to let it make you stronger instead of breaking you. Learn to be purple even when purple seems impossible. The next morning, an encrypted communication comes through for her. Master Gunnery Sergeant Garrison Blackwood's voice, crystal clear. "Corporal Ashford, heard about Al-Sadi. Master Gunny, 1,247 yards, 43-degree angle, 14-inch target, that true?" "Yes, Master Gunny." Silence on the line. Then a sound she's never heard before. Blackwood laughing, a rough, amazed, disbelieving laugh. "I've made shots like that 6 times in 72 years of shooting." Evie's eyes widen. "Master Gunny, you're not good, Ashford, you're elite. Top 1% of snipers alive." His voice gets rougher. "And you did it honoring your sister, carrying her memory into battle, making her proud." Evie's vision blurs. "Thank you, Master Gunny, for everything. For believing in me when nobody else did. I didn't believe in you, Corporal. I saw what you already were. I just helped you see it too." Another pause. "Jackson would have loved you. Your sister would be so proud." The line goes quiet for a moment. Then Blackwood's voice comes back, softer. "Keep that rifle purple, Ashford. Keep honoring her. Keep making impossible shots." "I will, Master Gunny. Semper Fidelis, Corporal. Semper Fi, Master Gunny." The line disconnects. Evie sits alone in the tent, holding the phone, letting the tears come. Because sometimes you need permission to be proud of yourself. Sometimes you need someone who understands sacrifice to tell you that you're doing it right. That carrying the dead into battle isn't weakness. It's the strongest thing a warrior can do. What does Christmas mean when you're in a war zone, carrying grief like a weapon 1 year after losing everything? Evie is about to find out. 2 weeks after the Al-Sadi shot, emergency leave comes through. Christmas, 4 days, she's going home. The paperwork comes down on December 10th. Lieutenant Crane hands it to her personally. "You earned this, Ashford. Go see your family." "Thank you, sir." "And Ashford," she looks up. "That shot you made. That's the kind of thing people talk about for generations. You're part of history now." She doesn't know what to say to that. Doesn't feel like history. Feels like survival. Feels like keeping a promise. Feels like doing what Vi would have wanted. The flight from Iraq to Germany to New York to Montana takes 36 hours. She doesn't sleep. Can't sleep. Just sits in various airplane seats, purple rifle case on her lap, thinking about Vi, about purple dresses and Christmas promises, about what it means to keep faith with the dead, about going home to a family that's missing a piece that can never be replaced. She lands at Bozeman Airport on December 24th, 1600 hours local time. Her parents are waiting. Her father, 58, former Marine, Desert Storm veteran, stands ramrod straight in a leather jacket. Her mother, 55, nurse, stronger than steel, has tears already streaming down her face. Evie walks toward them in her desert camas, rifle case in hand. They meet in the middle of the terminal. No words, just holding each other, just breathing each other in, just remembering what family feels like when it's broken but still standing. Finally, her father steps back, looks at the rifle case. "Is that?" "Yeah, Dad, it is." He nods slowly. His eyes are wet. Can I see it? In the parking lot, Evie opens the case. The purple rifle gleams in the fading winter light. The Christmas keychain spins slowly. Her father stares at it for a long moment, then reaches out, touches the purple Cerakote gently. It's beautiful, honey. You're not upset that I didn't repaint it. He looks at her, and for the first time in years she sees tears in his eyes. Upset, Evie. I'm proud, so damn proud. They drive home through snow-covered mountains, Montana in December. The world painted white and clean, big sky country, the place where Evie and Vi used to play in matching purple dresses, pretending to be princesses in a castle made of trees and snow. The house is exactly as Evie remembers. Christmas lights, wreath on the door, the smell of pine and cinnamon. Inside, her mother has set the table for four. Three places set, one empty chair, Vi's chair. On it, a single purple candle burns. That night they don't talk about Iraq. Don't talk about shots or war or death. They talk about Vi, about memories. About the time she tried to dye Evie's hair purple in middle school and it turned out green. About the time she convinced their father to let them adopt a stray dog and then named it Captain America. About the time she cried watching The Notebook and made everyone swear never to tell anyone. They laugh, they cry, they remember. And slowly the house feels less empty. Not whole, but less empty. Because Vi isn't really gone. She's in the stories, in the laughter, in the purple candle burning on an empty chair, in the rifle case sitting beside the Christmas tree. Christmas morning comes cold and clear. Evie wakes early, goes to her old bedroom, opens her closet. The purple dress is there, hanging alone, the one Vi bought in Kabul, the one they were supposed to wear together. Evie takes it down, holds it against herself, looks in the mirror. She hasn't worn it, couldn't bear to. It felt like breaking the promise, like admitting Vi was really gone. But now, after Al-Sadi, after the impossible shot, after honoring Vi in every way she knows how, now feels right. Now feels like the promise is kept, not broken. She puts on the dress, it fits perfectly. Deep violet, elegant, beautiful. Stands in front of the mirror. And for just a moment she sees Vi standing beside her, both in purple dresses, both smiling. We're matching today, Vi, Evie whispers. Finally, just like you wanted, her parents find her there. Her mother gasps hand to mouth. Oh honey, you're beautiful. Her father can't speak, just pulls her into a hug, holds her like he's afraid she'll disappear too. They go downstairs together, sit in the living room. The Christmas tree glows. Snow falls outside the window. Her mother hands Evie a small envelope. We found this last week, cleaning out Vi's things. It was sewn into the hem of her dress. Evie's hands shake as she opens it. Inside, Vi's handwriting. Dated November 23, 2019. One day before she died. Dear Evie, if you're wearing this dress without me there, it means I didn't make it home. I'm so sorry, but I need you to know something important. You were always my hero, not the other way around. I joined the Marines because of you. Every time I was scared, and I was scared a lot, I thought, what would Evie do? So if I didn't come home, don't you dare feel guilty. I made my choice. I ran into that fire. I saved someone. And that's what Ashfords do. Now you have to live for both of us. Be magic, Evie. Be purple. Be extraordinary. I'll be watching from the moon. Love you forever and ever. Vi. Evie reads it 3 times. By the 3rd time, she can barely see through the tears. Her father's crying too. Her mother's holding them both. They sit together in front of the Christmas tree. 3 people holding space for a 4th who will never come home. And they grieve. And they celebrate. And they remember. Later, Evie places the letter in her dress pocket. Right over her heart, where it belongs. That afternoon, they drive to the cemetery. The one where Vi is buried. The one with the white headstone and the flag and the inscription that reads, Petty Officer Violet Ashford, combat medic, died saving another. Evie kneels in the snow, places her hand on the cold stone. Hey Vi, it's me. I'm wearing the dress. We're matching just like you wanted. She swallows hard. I made a shot last month, 1,200 yards, impossible angle, saved my team. I did it thinking about you, about what you would do. About being purple even when it seems impossible. She wipes her eyes. I miss you every single day, but I'm keeping my promise. I'm being extraordinary. I'm living for both of us. Her father kneels beside her, places his hand on the stone too. We're so proud of you, baby girl, so proud of you both. They stay there for a long time, the snow falling soft and quiet, the world holding its breath. Three people saying goodbye and hello at the same time. Goodbye to who Vi was, hello to who she'll always be. Memory, legacy, love, December 28th. Evie returns to Iraq, back to Fob Phoenix, back to the war, back to the purple rifle and the impossible shots. But something's different now. The unit's different. The looks she gets aren't skeptical anymore. They're respectful, some even reverent. The purple rifle isn't a joke, it's a legend. New mission brief comes down that afternoon. Another assault. Another town. Lieutenant Crane assigns Evie to overwatch again. 1,200 yards out, her spot now. She gears up, checks her rifle, touches the Christmas keychain. Sterling approaches, full combat load, face serious. Ready, Ashford, always. He grins. That's my girl. Go make magic. The convoy rolls out at 0600. Evie's on the ridge by 0700, setting up her hide, scanning the objective through her scope. The familiar routine, the mathematics of death, the sacred geometry of the sniper. She settles behind the purple rifle, and she hears Vi's voice clear as bells. To the moon, Evie. To the moon and back, Vi. Her finger finds the trigger, her eye finds the scope. Her heart finds its rhythm. And Corporal Evangeline Ashford does what she was born to do. She protects, she serves, she honors. One purple bullet at a time. The mission goes clean, no casualties, no shots fired, just presence, just watching, just being ready. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes just being there, just being the purple rifle on the ridge is what keeps people alive. That night back at base, Torres finds her in the chow hall. Sits down across from her. That shot you made on Al-Sadi, he says, 1,200 yards, uphill, wind. Evie nods, doesn't know where this is going. I've been doing this for 12 years, Torres continues. 3 deployments, I've seen the best snipers in the Corps. That shot, he shakes his head. That's once-in-a-career stuff. Maybe once in a lifetime. She doesn't know what to say. Just got lucky, Sergeant. Torres smiles. No, Corporal, you didn't. You were prepared, you were skilled, you were brave, and you were carrying something bigger than yourself. He stands to leave, then pauses. That purple rifle. I get it now. It's not about the color, it's about what it represents, remembering why we're here, who we're fighting for, what we're carrying with us. He taps the table once. Keep making magic, purple, that's what we need out here. After he's gone, Evie sits alone with her tray, thinking about what he said, about magic and memory and meaning, about how sometimes the smallest things, a purple rifle, a Christmas keychain, carry the most weight. About how courage doesn't always look like what you expect. Sometimes it looks like grief turned to purpose. Sometimes it looks like love that refuses to die even when the person you love is gone. Sometimes it looks like a girl from Montana who painted her rifle purple and refused to apologize for it. How do you meet the person whose life your sister died saving? Evie is about to find out. 3 months later, March 2020, Fob Phoenix, the war continues. Missions run. Shots are made. The purple rifle becomes more legendary with each passing week. But something's about to happen that will change everything. Change how Evie sees her sister's death. Change what the purple rifle means. Change what it means to carry the dead into battle. It starts in the chow hall. Evie is sitting alone eating breakfast when a young Marine approaches her table. He's nervous, 20 years old, clean-cut, eyes that have seen too much too soon. The kind of eyes that mark combat veterans no matter how young they are. Corporal Ashford, ma'am. Evie looks up from her tray. Can I help you, Marine? He swallows hard. His hands are shaking slightly. My name is Private First Class Tommy Chen. I served with your sister in Afghanistan. The world stops. Every sound in the chow hall fades away. Every person disappears. There's only this kid standing in front of her. This kid who knew Vi. This kid who was there. Evie sets down her fork slowly. You're the Marine she saved. Yes, ma'am, his voice cracks. I didn't know you were her sister until Staff Sergeant Hayes told me yesterday. I wanted to say thank you. She gave me my life back. And he can't continue, just stands there, tears running down his face. In front of everyone, not caring, Evie stands, walks around the table, and hugs him, holds this stranger who isn't a stranger. This kid her sister died for. This living, breathing proof that Vi's death wasn't meaningless. She'd be so happy you're alive, Evie whispers, so happy. Tommy pulls back, wipes his eyes. The purple rifle. Is it true you painted it for her? Yes. Can I see it? Later in the armory, Evie shows him the purple rifle, the Christmas keychain. Tommy touches it gently, reverently, like he's touching something sacred. She was holding my hand when she died, he says quietly, telling me I was going to be okay, that I was going to see my family again. And then she was just gone. He looks at Evie and his eyes are devastated. I'm alive because of her. Every breath I take, every day I get, it's because she ran into fire for me. That's who she was, Evie says. That's who she'll always be. Tommy straightens, salutes the purple rifle. Thank you, ma'am, for keeping her alive for all of us. After he leaves, Evie sits alone with her rifle. And for the first time since Vi died, she feels something close to peace. Not closure, peace. There's a difference because Vi's sacrifice wasn't just death, it was life, Tommy's life. And now, through Evie, countless others. The purple rifle isn't just a memorial, it's a continuation. It's Vi still saving people, still running into fire, still being extraordinary. That night, Evie writes a letter, not to her parents. Not to Sterling or Crane or anyone at Fob Phoenix. To Vi. She knows it's impossible, knows the dead can't read letters, but some things you have to write anyway. Dear Vi, I met Tommy today. The Marine you saved, he's 20 years old, he's alive. He cries when he talks about you. He salutes your rifle like it's a flag. I wish you could see what you started, Vi. I wish you could see how the purple rifle has become something bigger than both of us. How it's not a joke anymore, how it's legend, how it saves people just by existing. Because when Marines see it, they remember why we're here. They remember that courage looks different than expected. They remember that the smallest things matter most. I made the shot, Vi. The impossible one. 1,200 yards for you, for Tommy, for everyone you loved and everyone I love. And I wore the purple dress on Christmas. We matched just like you wanted. I'm keeping my promise. I'm being extraordinary. I'm living for both of us. I miss you every single day. But I'm not broken anymore. I'm purple. Love you to the moon and back. Evie. She folds the letter, puts it in her pack, right next to the letter Vi wrote. The two of them together, past and present, death and life. The war continues. April comes. May comes. More missions, more shots. The purple rifle delivers every time. Evie's reputation grows. Purple Ashford. The best sniper in theater. The one who never misses. The one carrying her sister's memory into every battle. But it's not just reputation. It's impact. Other female Marines start reaching out, asking about the purple rifle, asking how she survived the harassment, how she kept going when everyone doubted her. One afternoon, a young lance corporal finds her. Her name is Maria Rodriguez, 22 years old. Machine gunner, first deployment. Can I talk to you, Corporal? Of course. Sit. Maria sits, hesitates, then speaks. I'm getting a lot of crap from my unit, saying I don't belong, saying women aren't strong enough. I saw your rifle, heard your story, and I wanted to know how you did it, how you kept going. Evie looks at this young Marine, sees herself a year ago, scared, doubted, trying to prove she belongs. You keep going by remembering who you're fighting for, Evie says. Not the people who doubt you, the people who believe in you, even if they're gone. Maria nods. My grandmother raised me. She died last year, said I was going to be a warrior. Evie smiles. Then that's what you are. Carry her with you. Let her memory make you stronger, not broken. You have something you carry. Maria pulls out a small rosary, my grandmother's. I keep it in my pocket. But I was thinking about maybe I don't know, making it visible. Evie looks at the purple rifle leaning against the wall. Do it. Make it visible. Own it. Let everyone see what you're fighting for. Because the people who mock you don't matter. The people you're honoring do. Maria leaves with tears in her eyes but standing taller, and Evie realizes something. The purple rifle isn't just about Vi anymore. It's about all of them. Every woman fighting in a world that doubts her. Every Marine carrying grief like a weapon. Every person who's been told they don't belong but refuses to leave. In June, a reporter embeds with the unit. She's doing a story on female Marines in combat. Wants to interview Evie. Lieutenant Crane approves it. The reporter, Sarah Mitchell, sits down with Evie in a quiet corner of the base. Tell me about the rifle, she says. Why purple? Evie tells her about Vi. about matching dresses, about promises to the dead, about carrying memory into battle. Sarah takes notes. Then she asks the real question. What do you want people to know? That courage doesn't look like everyone expects, Evie says. That strength comes in all colors. That remembering who you love and why you fight makes you better, not weaker. And that sometimes the best way to honor the dead is to keep living, keep fighting, keep being extraordinary. The article comes out 3 weeks later. Front page of the military publication Stars and Stripes. Photo of Evie with the purple rifle. Headline: The Purple Rifle, one Marine's mission to honor her fallen sister. The response is overwhelming. Letters pour in from Marines, from families of fallen service members, from people who have lost loved ones and don't know how to carry on. The purple rifle becomes more than a weapon, it becomes a symbol. A reminder that grief can be transformed, that loss can become purpose, that the dead don't leave us. They just change where they live. They live in our actions, our choices, our courage, but not everyone is happy about it. In July, a senior officer at division questions whether the rifle should be repainted, says it's not regulation, says it sets a bad precedent. Lieutenant Crane fights for her. Master Gunnery Sergeant Blackwood makes a call from Quantico, and the rifle stays purple. Because by now everyone knows what it means, everyone knows what it represents, and taking it away would be like erasing Vi all over again. August 2020. Evie's deployment ends. 14 months in Iraq, 43 confirmed kills, 0 misses, dozens of lives saved. The purple rifle has become legend, but it's time to go home. The goodbye is harder than she expected. Sterling hugs her, promises to visit Montana when his deployment ends. Torres shakes her hand, tells her she's one of the best he's ever served with. Crane salutes her, thanks her for making his Marines better just by being there. And Tommy Chen, the Marine Vi saved, gives her a photo. It's him with his family, his parents, his little sister, all of them smiling. She saved all of us, he says. Every time I see my family, I think about her, about what she gave me. Tell her thank you from all of us. I will, Evie says, every day. The flight home is quieter than the flight there. Evie sits with the purple rifle across her lap, looking out the window at clouds and sky and the world below, thinking about everything that's happened, everything she's learned, everything Vi would say if she were here. She'd probably say she's proud. She'd probably say keep going. She'd probably say that being purple was always the right choice. Montana welcomes her home with snow even though it's August. Mountain weather, unpredictable, perfect. Her parents meet her at the airport again. This time there are no tears, just smiles, just pride, just family. Welcome home, honey, her mother says. It's good to be home, Mom, but it's not really home yet, not completely. Because home isn't a place anymore. Home is wherever she can honor Vi, wherever she can keep the promise, wherever she can be purple. 3 days after returning, Evie visits the cemetery again. Kneels at Vi's grave, places her hand on the stone. Hey Vi, I'm back. Did my tour. Made you proud, I think. Made some impossible shots. Saved some lives, kept the rifle purple the whole time. She smiles through tears. Tommy Chen says thank you, so does his whole family, so do about 40 other Marines who are alive because I was watching their backs. You started something, Vi, something bigger than both of us. The purple rifle isn't just mine anymore. It belongs to everyone who's been told they don't belong, everyone who's carrying grief, everyone who needs to remember why they fight. She stands, brushes snow off the headstone. I'm going back to Quantico next month. Instructor position. Blackwood recommended me. I'm going to teach the next generation of snipers, and I'm going to tell them about you, about purple rifles and Christmas keychains and courage that looks different than expected. The snow falls soft and quiet. Evie turns to leave, then pauses. To the moon and back, Vi, always. What does it mean to teach courage when you're still learning it yourself? Evie finds out when she reports to Quantico in September 2020 as an instructor. She's 25 years old, combat veteran, 43 confirmed kills, legendary shot. The purple rifle's reputation precedes her, but teaching is different than doing. Teaching means standing in front of recruits who look at you with doubt and skepticism and making them believe, making them understand that what you did, they can do too. That courage isn't genetic, it's chosen. That strength isn't about never being afraid, it's about being afraid and going anyway. Master Gunnery Sergeant Garrison Blackwood meets her on her first day. He's older now. 70 years old, but still strong, still sharp, still legendary. Welcome home, Corporal. Thank you, Master Gunny. He looks at the purple rifle case in her hand. Heard you made some noise over there. Yes, Master Gunny. Good. Now let's see if you can teach it. Her first class is 30 recruits. All men, all skeptical, all wondering why this young woman with a purple rifle thinks she can teach them anything. She stands at the front of the classroom, sets the rifle case on the table, looks at them. I'm Corporal Evangeline Ashford. I spent 14 months in Iraq as a scout sniper, 43 confirmed kills. Longest shot was 1,247 yards, uphill, 43-degree angle, wind gusting to 20 miles per hour. 14-inch target, the room goes quiet. One recruit raises his hand. His name is Private Daniels. Is it true your rifle is purple? She opens the case, shows them. The purple rifle gleams under the fluorescent lights. The Christmas keychain spins. Yes, it's true. Purple? Daniels asks, not mocking, genuinely curious. She tells them about Vi, about November 24th, about matching purple dresses and promises to the dead, about learning that courage comes in colors nobody expects. The room is silent when she finishes. Another recruit speaks. His name is Private First Class Matthews. Did it make you a target having a purple rifle in combat? Yes. Did it make you less effective? No. It made me remember why I was there, who I was fighting for, what I was carrying with me, and that made me better. She looks at each of them. You're going to learn a lot of technical skills here. Windage, elevation, range estimation, camouflage. But the most important thing you'll learn is this. What you carry into battle matters. Not just weapons, not just gear. What you carry in your heart. Who you're fighting for. Why you're willing to risk everything. Over the next 6 months, Evie teaches. She teaches marksmanship. She teaches fieldcraft. She teaches patience and discipline and the sacred geometry of the sniper. But more than that, she teaches heart. She teaches that being a sniper isn't about killing. It's about protecting. It's about being the person who watches when everyone else is exposed. It's about making the shot that saves lives, not just takes them. Her recruits start to understand. Start to see her not as a woman with a purple rifle, but as a warrior who earned every inch of respect. They stop questioning. Start learning. Start becoming the kind of Marines who will carry their own memories into battle someday. In November, exactly 2 years after Vi's death, Evie holds a special class. It's not on the syllabus, not required, but she asks permission and Blackwood grants it. She brings in Tommy Chen, the Marine Vi saved. He's stationed at Camp Lejeune now, but he flies to Quantico for this, stands in front of her class in his dress blues, tells them what it's like to be saved by someone who gave everything. I was 19 years old, Tommy says, wounded, trapped, bleeding out. And this combat medic I'd never met before ran through enemy fire to get me, dragged me to cover, held my hand while I was dying, told me I was going to see my family again. He pauses. She took a bullet to the chest, died holding my hand, and I lived. The recruits are silent, listening, understanding. That's what this is about, Tommy continues. Not about you, not about being a hero, about the people you protect, the lives you save. The families who get to stay whole because you did your job. He looks at Evie. Corporal Ashford's sister saved me. And now Corporal Ashford has saved dozens more, because she carries her sister with her, because she remembers why it matters. After Tommy leaves, one of the recruits approaches Evie. His name is Private Wilson. Young, 20 years old. He's been struggling in the program. Can I talk to you, Corporal? Of course. He hesitates, then speaks. My brother died last year. Car accident, and I've been, I don't know, feeling like I should have done something, should have saved him, but I couldn't. And now I'm here and I don't know if I'm good enough. Evie looks at him, sees the guilt, the grief, the weight. Wilson, she says, you can't save everyone. That's not the job. The job is to save the ones you can, and to honor the ones you couldn't by being the best version of yourself. Carry your brother with you. Let him make you stronger. He nods, tears in his eyes. Can I do something like your rifle, make something visible? Absolutely. What would you do, he thinks. My brother wore this watch, our grandfather's watch. He was wearing it when he died. Can I wear it, even though it's not regulation? Evie smiles. Wear it, own it. Let it remind you why you're here. A few weeks later, Wilson qualifies top of his class, wearing his brother's watch, carrying his brother's memory, becoming the kind of Marine his brother would be proud of. In December, 2 years after Vi died, Evie goes home for Christmas again. Her parents have moved Vi's picture from the mantel to the wall, not hiding her, just making room for life to continue. The purple candle still burns on Christmas morning, but now there's also laughter, also joy, also hope. Evie wears the purple dress again, sits with her parents, tells them about teaching, about Tommy Chen, about recruits who are learning to carry their own memories into battle. Her father listens, then speaks. Your sister would be so proud of what you've built, Evie. Not just the shooting, not just the legend, the meaning behind it. Thank you, Dad. He reaches over, squeezes her hand. We're proud too, so damn proud. That night alone in her childhood bedroom, Evie writes another letter to Vi. Dear Vi, 2 years since you left. 2 years since I started carrying you into battle. 2 years of being purple. I'm teaching now, at Quantico, training the next generation. And I'm telling them about you, about courage that doesn't look like everyone expects, about strength that comes from love, not hate, about carrying the people we love into the darkness with us. The purple rifle has become something bigger than both of us. It's a symbol now, a reminder that grief can become purpose, that loss can become legacy, that the dead don't leave us, they just change where they live. I miss you every day, but I'm not broken anymore. I'm whole, because you made me whole. Your sacrifice, your love, your belief in me. It all matters. It all means something. Thank you for running into that fire. Thank you for saving Tommy. Thank you for showing me what extraordinary really means. To the moon and back, Vi, always, Evie. She folds the letter, puts it with all the others. A growing collection of words to someone who can't read them. But that's not the point. The point is writing them. The point is remembering. The point is keeping the connection alive even when one side is silent. In January 2021, something unexpected happens. Evie gets promoted to sergeant. The ceremony is small. Blackwood pins her new rank, hands her the warrant, speaks quietly so only she can hear. Your sister would be proud, Sergeant Ashford. I know she would, Master Gunny. Keep teaching, keep honoring her, keep making Marines better. I will. The promotion comes with new responsibilities, more classes, more recruits, more opportunities to shape the next generation. But it also comes with something else, recognition. In March, she's invited to speak at the Marine Corps Association conference in Washington, D.C. The topic, leadership under fire. She almost declines. Doesn't feel like she has anything to say that hasn't been said before, but Blackwood convinces her. They need to hear it from you, he says. They need to see that strength looks different than expected. So she goes, stands on stage in her dress blues, purple rifle displayed beside her, looks out at a room full of officers and senior enlisted, and speaks. Leadership isn't about being fearless. It's about being afraid and going anyway. It's not about being the strongest. It's about knowing what you're fighting for. It's not about never falling. It's about getting back up and carrying your fallen with you. She tells them about Vi, about purple rifles and impossible shots and promises kept, about Tommy Chen and Wilson's watch and Maria Rodriguez's rosary, about teaching recruits that courage comes in all forms. The room is silent, listening, absorbing. When you lead Marines into combat, she says, you're not just leading bodies. You're leading hearts, souls, memories, everything they carry with them. Honor that. Respect that. Let them bring their whole selves to the fight, because that's where their strength comes from. The speech ends with standing ovation. Afterward, dozens of officers approach her, thank her, tell her their own stories of loss and memory and carrying the dead into battle. One colonel, 50 years old, Vietnam veteran, shakes her hand. My son died in Fallujah, he says quietly, and I've been angry about it for 17 years. But listening to you tonight, I think I understand now. Understand what, sir? That he's not gone. He's just fighting through me now. Every decision I make. Every Marine I lead. He's there. Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. The colonel's eyes are wet. Thank you, Sergeant, for helping me see it. Over the next year, Evie continues teaching, continues honoring Vi, continues being purple. The recruits she trains go on to deploy, go on to make their own impossible shots, Go on to save lives because she taught them not just how to shoot but why to shoot, what to carry, who to remember. And slowly, very slowly, the purple rifle becomes more than legend. It becomes legacy. A living testament to the idea that courage looks different than expected, that strength comes from love, that the best way to honor the dead is to keep living, keep fighting, keep being extraordinary. In November 2022, 3 years after Vi's death, Evie returns to Iraq, not as a sniper, as a training advisor, teaching Iraqi security forces the same things she taught at Quantico. She brings the purple rifle. Of course she brings the purple rifle. And when Iraqi soldiers ask about it, she tells them Vi's story, about courage that transcends culture and language and nationality, about love that refuses to die even when the person you love is gone. One Iraqi soldier, a woman named Amira, approaches her after training. In my culture, she says in careful English, purple is the color of mourning, but also of royalty. You honor your sister like a queen. Evie smiles. She was a queen, and so are you for being here, for fighting, for refusing to give up even when the world tells you to. Amira nods, touches the rifle gently. I have a sister too. She died in a bombing. I carry her picture in my helmet. Good. Never stop carrying her. Let her make you stronger. They stand together. Two warriors, two sisters, two women who refuse to let death have the final word. And in that moment, Evie realizes something. The purple rifle isn't just about Vi anymore. It's about all of them. Every warrior who carries grief like a weapon. Every person who turns loss into purpose. Every soul who looks at the darkness and says, "You don't get to win. Not today. Not ever." What does it mean when a legend becomes a legacy, when a purple rifle stops being about one person and starts being about everyone? Evie finds out in ways she never expected. It's December 2023. 4 years since Vi died. 4 years since the purple rifle became something more than metal and paint, something more than memory. Evie is 30 years old now, still teaching at Quantico, still carrying Vi into every lesson, still wearing the Christmas keychain on her rifle. Still being purple, but something's changed, something she didn't see coming. The purple rifle has inspired others, not just Marines, everyone. She starts getting letters, emails, messages on social media, from people all over the world who heard her story and decided to honor their own dead in visible ways. A firefighter in Chicago who painted his helmet with his daughter's favorite color after she died of cancer. A teacher in Texas who wears her husband's military dog tags every day since he was killed in Afghanistan. A nurse in New York who stitched her son's name into her scrubs after he died in a car accident. A police officer in Seattle who carries his partner's badge number on his vest after a line-of-duty death. They all write to say thank you. Thank you for showing us that grief doesn't have to be hidden, that memory can be strength, that carrying the dead makes us more alive, not less. Evie reads every letter, responds to every message, because she understands. She understands what it means to need permission to grieve publicly, to need someone to say it's okay to carry your loss into the light instead of hiding it in the dark. One letter stands out. It's from a young woman named Ashley Morgan, 23 years old, Army combat medic, stationed in Germany. She writes, "Dear Sergeant Ashford, my twin sister Amber died by suicide 2 years ago. She was struggling with depression and I didn't see the signs. I've been carrying guilt ever since. But reading about your purple rifle made me realize something. I can honor her by being present, by saving the lives she couldn't save, by being visible about mental health and making sure other soldiers know they're not alone. I'm starting a program at my base, peer support for soldiers struggling with mental health, and I'm calling it Purple Heart Initiative, not the medal, the concept, being brave enough to show your heart, to be vulnerable, to carry your grief openly and let it make you stronger." Evie reads the letter 3 times, then she calls Ashley. They talk for 2 hours about grief, about guilt, about the difference between hiding pain and honoring it. At the end of the call, Ashley asks, "Would you be willing to come speak to my soldiers about the purple rifle, about carrying the dead into battle?" Evie doesn't hesitate. Yes, absolutely yes. A month later, she flies to Germany, speaks to Ashley's unit, brings the purple rifle, tells Vi's story, tells Tommy Chen's story. Tells about impossible shots and Christmas keychains and courage that looks different than expected. The soldiers listen, absorb, understand. Afterward, a young private approaches. His name is Marcus Webb. No relation to the gunnery sergeant who mocked Evie 4 years ago, but the name still makes her pause. I lost my best friend to suicide, Marcus says, back home before I enlisted, and I've been struggling, thinking maybe I should have seen it, should have stopped it. Evie looks at him, sees herself, sees Ashley, sees everyone who carries survivor's guilt like a weight. You can't save everyone, she says, but you can honor them by saving the ones you can, by being present, by letting your grief make you more aware, not less. Marcus nods, his eyes are wet. Can I start something too? Something to honor him, of course. What would you do, he thinks. My friend loved music, always had headphones on. Maybe I could organize concerts on base. Bring musicians in. Raise awareness about mental health. Do it, Evie says, own it. Let your friend's memory save lives. 6 months later, Marcus's program launches. Concerts for Consciousness. Musicians performing at military bases across Europe, talking openly about mental health, about loss, about carrying on when everything feels impossible, and it starts because of a purple rifle, because of a Marine who refused to hide her grief, because of Vi. The ripples keep spreading. In February 2024, a documentary filmmaker contacts Evie. Her name is Jennifer Marks. She wants to make a film about the purple rifle, about how personal memory becomes collective strength, about how one woman's grief became a movement. Evie is hesitant, doesn't want to exploit Vi's death, doesn't want to turn tragedy into spectacle, but Jennifer promises this isn't about exploitation. It's about inspiration. It's about showing people that grief doesn't have to break you, that memory can be power. Evie agrees. The filming takes 6 months. They interview her, her parents, Tommy Chen, Sterling, Torres, Blackwood, Ashley Morgan, Marcus Webb, dozens of others whose lives were touched by the purple rifle. They film at Quantico, at Fob Phoenix, at Vi's grave in Montana, at the places where impossible shots were made and lives were saved. The documentary releases in October 2024, 5 years after Vi died. It's called Purple Rifle, A Legacy of Courage. The response is overwhelming. It screens at film festivals, wins awards, trends on social media. Millions of people watch, and the movement grows. People start sharing their own stories of visible grief, of carrying the dead into daily life, of refusing to hide pain and instead transforming it into purpose. Purple Rifle becomes a hashtag. Carry them with you becomes a rallying cry. Visible grief becomes a movement. But not everyone is supportive. Some critics say Evie is glorifying war, exploiting tragedy, using her sister's death for fame. The criticism hurts, makes her question everything, makes her wonder if she's betrayed Vi by making this public. One night alone in her quarters at Quantico, she breaks down, calls her mother. Mom, I don't know if I did the right thing, making all this public, making Vi's death into something people talk about. Maybe I should have kept it private. Her mother is quiet for a moment, then speaks. Honey, do you know how many letters we've received at the house? From parents whose kids died in the military, from families who lost loved ones and didn't know how to grieve, from people who said your story helped them keep going. Evie wipes her eyes. Really? Really? They say Vi's sacrifice meant something, that your honoring her meant something, that seeing someone carry grief openly gave them permission to do the same. Her mother's voice gets softer. You didn't betray her, Evie. You continued her work. She saved one life. You've saved hundreds, maybe thousands. That's not exploitation. That's legacy. The criticism doesn't stop. But Evie stops letting it break her, because she knows the truth, knows what Vi would say. Vi would say keep going, keep being purple, keep showing people that courage looks different than expected. In November 2024, Evie returns to Al-Qaim, the place where she made the impossible shot, the place where everything changed. She brings a film crew, not for the documentary, for something else, for closure. She stands on the ridge where she took the 1,247-yard shot, sets up the purple rifle exactly how it was 5 years ago, looks through the scope at the compound below, and she speaks to Vi. Hey Vi, I'm back, where it all happened, where I proved that purple rifles aren't jokes, Where I kept my promise to be extraordinary, she swallows hard. I've been thinking a lot about what it all means. The purple rifle, the movement, the legacy, and I think I finally understand. It was never about the rifle. It was about refusing to hide what matters, about carrying love into dark places, about showing people that grief can become something beautiful. She touches the Christmas keychain. You saved one life, Vi. But that one life started something bigger than both of us. Tommy Chen is alive. His family is whole. And because of that, because I met him, I learned what your sacrifice really meant. And then I shared it, and other people shared their stories. And now there are thousands of people out there who are carrying their dead openly, proudly, without shame. That's your legacy, Vi, not just saving Tommy, saving all of us from thinking grief has to be hidden. The sun sets over Alkane. The same sun that set 5 years ago when she made the shot, but everything's different now. Then she was trying to prove something. Now she's proved it. Then she was carrying Vi's memory. Now she's carrying everyone's. Then she was being purple because Vi asked her to. Now she's purple because it's who she is. She packs up the rifle, heads back to the convoy. But before she leaves, she places a small purple flag on the ridge. A marker, a monument, a reminder that this is where impossible became possible, where grief became strength, where a girl from Montana with a purple rifle changed everything. Back in the States, life continues, teaching continues. The movement continues, but Evie knows something has to change. She can't be a teacher forever, can't stay at Quantico telling the same stories. At some point, she has to move forward, has to let the purple rifle become something that exists without her constantly tending it. In December 2024, 6 years after Vi died, she makes a decision. She's going to write a book, not about her, about everyone. About the firefighter and the teacher and the nurse, about Ashley and Marcus and Tommy, about all the people who learn to carry their dead openly, about what happens when grief stops being shameful and starts being powerful. She spends 6 months writing, pouring everything onto the page, every lesson, every shot, every moment of doubt and triumph, every letter from strangers who said you saved me. The book publishes in June 2025. It's called Purple, Courage in Unexpected Colors. It becomes a bestseller, not because it's about war, because it's about being human, about loving people so much that when they die you carry them forever, about refusing to let death have the final word. The book tour takes her across America, to bookstores and military bases and schools. She speaks. She listens. She signs copies, and in every city people approach her with their own purple rifles. Not literal weapons, but their own visible grief. A woman who wears her son's baseball cap every day after he died in a school shooting. A man who tattooed his wife's heartbeat on his wrist after she died of breast cancer. A teenager who painted her skateboard with her best friend's favorite colors after a suicide. They all say the same thing. Thank you for showing us it's okay to be visible. Thank you for teaching us that carrying the dead makes us stronger. Thank you for being purple. And Evie realizes this is what Vi meant. Be extraordinary, not by being perfect, by being real, by refusing to hide what matters, by carrying love into dark places and lighting them up. In August 2025, she returns to Montana, to Vi's grave. 6 years since the last time Vi was alive. 6 years of being purple. 6 years of carrying her sister into every battle. She kneels at the gravestone, places her hand on the cold marble. Hey Vi, it's been 6 years. 6 years of keeping my promise. 6 years of being extraordinary. I did it, Vi. I did what you asked. I've been purple. I've been bold. I've been extraordinary. I've lived for both of us. She smiles through tears. And you know what? It worked. Not the way I thought it would, but it worked. Your death wasn't meaningless. Your sacrifice wasn't wasted. You saved Tommy. And through Tommy, you saved me. And through me, you saved thousands. That's your legacy, Vi, not death. Life. Abundant, messy, beautiful, painful, extraordinary life. She stands, brushes off her knees, and for the first time since Vi died, she feels complete peace. Not because the grief is gone, because she's learned to carry it, learned to let it make her stronger instead of breaking her, learned to be purple not just for Vi, but for herself. That night, she writes one final letter to Vi. Dear Vi, this is the last letter, not because I'm forgetting you. Because I don't need to write anymore. You're not separate from me. You're part of me, in every decision, every shot, every moment of courage, every time I stand up for someone who's doubted, every time I teach a recruit to carry what matters, every time I paint something purple. I kept my promise, Vi. I've been extraordinary. But here's what I learned. Extraordinary isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, about showing up, about carrying what matters and refusing to hide it. You taught me that by living it, by dying for it, by loving so fiercely that even death couldn't end it. Thank you, Vi, for everything, for the purple dresses, for the Christmas keychain, for the letter telling me to be bold, for running into that fire, for showing me what courage really looks like. I love you to the moon and back. Always your sister, Evie. She folds the letter, places it in a time capsule she's burying at the house, along with photos and memories and the purple dress. Not to forget, to preserve, to mark the moment when grief transformed into something else, something permanent, something purple. The purple rifle stays with her. Of course it stays with her. It's part of who she is now. Not a memorial anymore, a tool, a teaching device, a symbol, a living testament to the idea that courage looks different than expected. That strength comes from love, that the dead don't leave us. They just change where they live. And Vi lives in every purple bullet fired at a target, every lecture about carrying what matters, every recruit who learns that grief can be power, every stranger who decides to honor their dead visibly, every person who refuses to hide their heart. That's where Vi lives now. Not in a grave, in action, in purpose, in the extraordinary ordinariness of people choosing love over fear, choosing visibility over hiding, choosing purple over camouflage. Sometimes dignity doesn't speak, it simply acts. Sometimes courage doesn't announce itself. It just shows up, wearing unexpected colors, carrying impossible grief, and refusing to apologize for any of it. Sometimes the most powerful thing a warrior can do is carry her heart into battle and let everyone see it. That's what the purple rifle taught the world. Not how to shoot, how to live, how to grieve, how to honor, how to be extraordinary by being exactly who you are, carrying exactly what you carry, loving exactly who you love, even when they're gone, especially when they're gone. Because that's when love matters most. That's when memory becomes mission. That's when purple becomes power. And that's when a girl from Montana with a bright purple rifle and a Christmas keychain teaches the world what courage really means.